Guys, I'm back again. This is going to be my makeup on a mission submission, for want of a better name for the video. Just over a week ago now, I was watching Natalie Patel, and she was talking about makeup on a mission, and it's a not-for-profit organisation set up by a lady in South Australia, where I live, called Penelope Summers, and it's to help out women who've left domestic violence situations. And this really resonates with me on a fairly deep level. So I went and had a look at Penelope's video and saw what she was doing, and thought this is a really, really good thing to get behind. Now, if you want to, I will leave a link to Penelope's video down below. There is an opportunity to enter a giveaway to win a prize if you do submission or more than one submission. Not really why I'm in it. Not that I don't love makeup, because obviously I do. Not that I'd say no to my makeup, but for me this is really more about giving back. And so instead of doing, because I've actually put together 4 packs for her thing, instead of doing 4 videos, I'm just going to do one. And it probably won't be the only stuff I sent her. It'll just be the first of the stuff that I sent her. So basically, what it was is that you put together one of 2 kits, a makeup one or a skincare one. In the makeup one, you put in a mascara, a lipstick and a blush, and in the makeup one, face wipes, moisturiser and eye cream. Now, it all has to be brand new, obviously, never used, because you're giving it to somebody else. So either, a lot of people have backups of stuff, so, you could use that, or go out and buy new stuff, which is actually what I did. I went on a bit of a shopping spree. I did, at the same time, pick up a couple of things for myself, because I can't help myself. But mostly the stuff I bought for makeup on a mission. So before I get into what I actually got, I thought I'd explain a little bit about why this is so important to me. Some of you who've watched my other videos might know a bit about my backstory, but not all of it, because, there's a lot of it. But I actually spent, from the time I was 6 until the time I was 14, in a domestic violence household. The abuser was my stepfather, and it was difficult, to say the least. Not only because of the fact that he mistreated my mother, but those of you who know the story know that he mistreated me. And the bit that's kind of important in this is I can remember the night that my mum finally left. We'd been at a family gathering type thing, and he got drunk as usual. And some stupid argument started over something stupid. That's what stupid arguments start over. And it just escalated, and it was scary and not very pleasant. At one point, some fists were thrown between my stepfather and my brother, who was living at home at the time, which made my brother leave. I was kind of hoping he was going to the police. He didn't. He went to a friend's and left me and my mum alone with our abuser. And my mum was trying to call somebody for help, and he ripped the phone out of the wall, and he would not let her have any space. He was following her around the house, and I'd actually gone to bed, and I remember Mum telling me to get up and get dressed, and put a few things in my school bag. And, she was showing every intent that she was going to leave. But then he was making it difficult for her to actually do that. I can remember at one point, I think she'd gone into the bathroom to get her toothbrush or something. She's a very practical woman. She kind of, wanted to make sure she had the necessities. And I can remember standing between him and my mum as he was trying to grab for my mum, and standing there protecting my mum. And eventually I was the one who dragged her out of the house. I literally said, look, we have to go. And my mum didn't drive at that stage, so we had no car. And we lived in a small country town, and we walked down to the post office that's in the main street, and there's a phone box down there. We actually walked straight past the police station, but we didn't go in. Small country town, it's not usually manned at night anyway. This was fairly late at night. And my mum started ringing around shelters and things, and there was nothing in our area. And we wouldn't have been able to go down that night because we didn't have a car anyway. And there was, no way of getting down there. It wasn't, we're talking about something that happened like 15 years ago. There weren't taxis in this town. There are now, but there weren't back then. But I was telling my mum to ring my friend, who's had just returned from being in a shelter. Like, she'd left her violent situation and then went back again, because that's sometimes what happens. She did eventually leave for good, but my friend and her mum had been in a shelter for a period of time, and I knew that they would understand, and so I kind of convinced my mum eventually to ring them, and we went and stayed with them until Mum found a house. So it was like a month. And I can remember Mum having to go back to the house to get our stuff, and she needed a police escort to do so. And, and then dealing with lawyers and all of the horrible stuff that one has to deal with when a marriage breaks up, let alone when it's a violent, abusive, a lot of it in our case was psychological abuse. So Mum kind of didn't think she'd be able to do it on her own anyway, and I know for a period of time she really did consider going back. Thankfully she never did. But when you leave in a hurry, most of the time you don't really give a damn. You just need to get out. You can't always plan it. You can't always grab stuff that you need. And so with Makeup on a Mission, it's about, when you turn up in that shelter, or you finally go and talk to someone who helps domestic violence situations, you may very well only have what you're wearing. And I know my mum didn't take any makeup with her when she left. That was wasn't even high on the list of priorities at that point in time. But when you've got to go and see lawyers, you've got to go to court, all that kind of stuff, you need to look like you're making an effort. And you also need it to feel good about yourself. And often when you leave those situations, you feel pretty shit about yourself. And having, someone hand you something to make you feel better is just amazing. And it shows a level of support for you that you may not have felt for a really, really long time. And that's why I thought Makeup on a Mission is such an important thing, and I really urge people to get behind it. It's not only for Australia. She has a list of shelters in New Zealand, the UK, I think Canada, America, and the network is growing all the time. Even if you can't contribute the makeup or the skincare, you might know of a shelter that could use this kind of support, and get the message out there. So that's kind of why I think this is really important to do. So now that I've done that bit, I will get onto the kits that I bought. So I got 2 skincare and 2 makeup. Part of my thinking on what I was buying is that I wanted it to be luxurious without being really high end, because usually you don't have any money either, and if you fall in love with something that somebody gave you, you may not be able to replace it, or you may not feel like you should use it because it's really expensive or whatever, and I didn't really want that to be sort of like an issue. But I still wanted it to be, good quality stuff that I would use, and in some cases stuff that I do use, which is why I picked them. And that was sort of part of my thinking anyway. So we'll get on to my first little pack. We'll start with the skincare ones. So I get like Lust Have It, and they've gone from a box to a bag, and as it turned out I had 4 bags. So I had 2 of these like plasticky type ones, which is ones I put skincare in, because I thought, that's really good. The bag is useful as well for putting stuff in, and the skincare stuff's in a plastic bag, which is waterproof and cleanable, which I thought was a really good idea. The makeup ones I have in the meshy type bags, and they're pink, so they're really cool. So for my, just yank these out. For the first one, now I went to Priceline, and pretty much everything I bought on sale, or 2 for the price of 1, or whatever, because that's how I like to do things. So the first thing I bought was these Whisper cleansing wipes. Now, I love the Whisper ones, and the reason I love the Whisper ones is because they have like these are sealed inside, but they have the little sealed thingy, so they don't dry out like some do. Like I find with like ones like this one, which just has like the plasticky thing, that sometimes it doesn't sit down properly and they dry out, which is a real pain in the butt. Plus, Whispers are really, really good price. They're like, I think they're only like $5 or something. I got the unscented ones because I don't know if the person who gets them is going to have like really sensitive skin or a problem with perfumes or whatever. So I got ones that are unscented for that reason. Now for this one, for the moisturiser, I got groovies on me. I got the Garnier Ultra Lift Anti-Aging SPF 15 day cream. I really wanted to get one that was a day cream that had SPF in it, because that's so important. And this one's supposed to be like really good at like making your skin look really, really good. So that was why I bought that one. And I got, the box looks a bit hacked, but for the eye cream, I got this Puretopia Eye Rescue Massaging Roller. I have an eye cream that has a massaging roller. It's such a lovely feel. Now this one is really good for soothing the eyes and like puffiness and stuff. But if you've had a bad night and you've been crying a lot and your eyes are all puffy and red, something like this is like a godsend, because it'll instantly make you feel and look like so much better. So yeah, so that was in the first one. Now in the second one, oops, I have things going everywhere. I got the same eye cream. This is actually quite a for an eye cream, it's quite a reasonable price. I think it's about $15. But I did get these, I think, like a reduction, I think, for getting 2 of them. So that was that. I got the same Whispers because they are my favourite brand and I love them and I think they're wonderful. And again, the unscented. But for the day cream, I got a slightly different one. This is actually the day cream that I use quite often. I sort of switch between 2 or 3 of them, but Nivea is one of my favourite brands of all time, and these Daily Essential ones are great. This one's for normal combination skin. Again, I don't really know what the person's going to have for skin or anything. And this one is SPF 30, and it's like really, really good, and it's a great price. You can get it at the supermarket, basically. Yeah, so that's why I went with that one. So then I just have to duck down because I dropped one. Oh, okay, so next onto the makeup ones. Now, in the first one, they're slightly different, but still sort of the same. Things going everywhere. Oh dear. Okay, for the mascara, I got the Rimmel Scandalise Rockin' Curves. And these are in extreme. This is in extreme black. The other pack's actually got the same mascara. Quite honestly, these were on sale. These were like $10 each in Priceline. And you know, Rimmel was a really good brand. I quite like it. I haven't actually tried this one myself, so I don't know what it's like. But hey, it looks kind of cool, and you know, you got to be rocking it. And then for the blusher for this one, Physicians Formula Happy Booster. A glow and mood boosting blush. Like seriously, what more could you ask for when you're having a crap day than some happy? And I love the fact that it's got little love hearts on it. And you know, the packaging is really nice. It's like pink and really cute and everything. And I feel like you just look at that and you would feel better. I mean, I know I do. Yeah. And it comes with a brush and a mirror as well, which makes it really useful because, you know, sometimes you don't have a brush. Nothing worse than blush without a brush. So yeah, I actually have a different Physicians Formula one. But again, this was on sale. It's actually quite reasonable. I always thought Physicians Formula was kind of expensive. Their prices seem to have come down. Or maybe I'm just looking at it with different eyes. Yeah, so and this is in natural, which should pretty much suit everybody, regardless. And the lipstick I got is a She one. Again, these were on sale. Now, this is in the colour Destiny, because it's up to you to, like, grab your Destiny and, yeah. And it's actually a really nice colour. I swatched it in store and I thought, ooh, almost wanted it for myself. I may well go back and buy one. You never know. I'm a little obsessed. And the last pack, again, has a Scandalise Rockin' Curves mascara in extreme black. And it has a Physicians Formula blusher, but this one is Powder Pearls. It's a mineral one, and it says for a rosy glow, but when I saw it, I thought, you know what? When you go through something really, really rough, it's like being a pearl. That's how pearls are created, is through going through a hard patch, really. And so I thought it was kind of poignant, and yeah. And this one has real pearls in it, so you put pearls on your face. And the packaging's really cute. It's got like the little pearl thing on the top. I really like that. Thought that was cute. And the lipstick I got is an Anoxa lipstick. I actually own several of these. I bought a couple of extras while I was buying this one. This one is in deep strawberry, because it's a sweet. It's also really neutral kind of shade that would go with anyone. I'm actually wearing an Anoxa, like the same type as this, slightly different colour. Very similar colour, but slightly different colour. They're really creamy and smooth and soft, and they feel fabulous on the lips. So you pretty sure this is a really nice lipstick. And Anoxia is an Australian brand, which, yeah, makes it even better. Yeah, so this is in Deep Strawberry, which is kind of sweet. Which, yeah, so those are the packs that I put together for Makeup on a Mission, and I will be sending those off to Penelope, probably tomorrow actually, which might be before this video goes up. And yeah, I really urge people to get behind this. It's such a great cause. Even if you just get the word out to other people that this is happening, and like support this whole thing. It is, for those of you who are worried, this is a not-for-profit organisation that is registered in Australia. This is not just some person who's doing it for their own benefit. She's a registered non-profit, and that comes with certain regulations and things that she has to kind of like do the right thing. So you can be sure that this is not just some fly-by-night operation. She really is intent on helping out women who are going through this. And, you know, by helping the women who are leaving these situations, you're actually helping the kids as well. And, you know, being the child of that kind of situation, that I know how important that is. So, yeah, I really hope everybody gets behind this, and I will see you in my next video. See ya.